Hey everybody, this is Dr. Neil Goodman. I'm a pediatric doctor and a biohacker from coastal Georgia. By biohacker, I mean that I'm super interested in using technology, science, and nutrition to make my body the best that it can be. I got interested in biohacking my own health about 5-6 years ago. I was starting to have physical decline in many areas of my life, perhaps because I'd been exposed to lots of stress through my occupation, ignoring my own eating and exercise, and then lots of toxins because of my upbringing. Growing up, I had lived for 16 years in a household where I couldn't escape the 3-pack per day smoking habit of my father. Ultimately, he died of lung cancer, and 10 years later my mother met the same fate. But she died of breast cancer, even though she never smoked a day in her life. I don't know if you know it or not, but there's an association of breast cancer with secondhand smoke. So when I got to their age of 55, I was thinking, when was I going to get cancer diagnosis, right? I mean, after all, I had the same genetic makeup as my parents. I was working so hard taking care of all of my patients. I was neglecting my own health. That's the typical story that affects doctors. I didn't really want to become the next statistic, and so I had to do something to restore myself. I started eating better and I was trying to exercise, but I was so tired. I was so sore after my workouts that I didn't really want to do the next one. I began to go on to vacations with my wife, and she was in a similar state as me. She was a doctor too. We both needed some relief, and so we would go away to get some massages and eat healthier, but after the week vacation, we were right back in the same situation. I mean, it was all temporary. So frustrating. So in 2016, a friend introduced me to some products from a wellness company that was making some groundbreaking discoveries in the wellness field, called LifeVantage. Apparently, they created an incredible product called Protandim NRF2 that was based on 30 years of Nobel Prize science level research. They brought the product to market in the mid-90s, and history was written, but I never knew about it until a friend suggested that I investigate it for myself. I started taking it daily, and I started to notice subtle changes initially, but after 6 months, it was clear that it was causing some profound changes. Now, I'm a completely different person. I'm lighter, I'm healthier, I have more stamina and energy, I sleep better, I actually want to exercise now because I don't get tired doing it, and best of all, the process that was aging me, called oxidative stress, was reduced by 40 to 70%, which meant that I had improved my longevity, and I've reversed the trends that were going to cause me to die at an early age. So let's talk about you. Here you are. You've come to this page through some sort of an invite. You were either invited directly by me or maybe one of my business partners who cared enough about you and your situation that they wanted you to see this message, this presentation, in the hopes that it could change your life too. I turned my health improvement journey into an opportunity to tell the world about these amazing products and the company that created them. I then decided that I would augment my income and hopefully replace it as I became successful in telling others about how to improve their lives and the lives of their family and friends. There's absolutely no reason that anyone with an interest in becoming healthier couldn't do exactly the same thing. You don't have to be a doctor, have any medical knowledge, or even have a science background in order to tell this story. In fact, the majority of people who become representatives or distributors with the company are exactly that: normal, ordinary people. Regular workers, housewives, dads, moms, teachers, aides, essentially anyone. It's simply a story of desire to improve oneself physically, emotionally, and financially. So let me share my vision with you and see if you don't want to obtain the same things for yourself, okay? If you're tired of feeling tired, or you're always getting sick, if you're stiff, sore, weak, or if on the financial side of things you're tired of someone else at the office always calling the shots, where you're not in charge of your own life, maybe you're never able to live life on your own terms. You're always clocking in and are barely able to afford that vacation, or you don't have enough money to pay the bills, feed the kids, or do something nice for yourself like you really deserve. Maybe you're not appreciated at work. Maybe there is no work. Perhaps the job dried up and you're isolated at home with nothing to do except to barely live on subsistence. Maybe all you can do is watch Netflix. Are you living on someone else's terms and you aren't in charge of your own life anymore? Then listen carefully, because all that's going to change. I was in the situation that if I didn't show up to work, then I wasn't going to get paid. I wasn't leveraging my time for money. I was running out of time. There wasn't enough time in the day to do all the things I needed to do. Work was always there, and don't get me wrong, I love what I do, taking care of kids and their families, but I was always on call at the hospital. There was no downtime. Other doctors were leaving the area, and their workload became my new workload, more and more, yet my salary remained the same. Life at home was just recovery for me. I just wanted to sleep. There was no enjoyment anymore. I felt like I was on a hamster wheel with no daylight at the end. This is the reason that many doctors commit suicide. They're burnt out, and yet all the responsibilities continue until they either die of natural causes or self-sacrifice. Thank God this person came to me with the answer to a prayer that I didn't even know that I made. I saw the potential in this new opportunity, and it was an absolute no-brainer. This thing that I'm going to share with you tonight is called protandem. Guys, as they say, the rest is history. So this is what we're going to talk about. You guys, we're going to discuss flipping switches on our health. So if you remember nothing else from this talk, remember this. We're not talking about another supplement. I have so many people say it. I don't even like the word. Unfortunately, that's what it's labeled, because there's pharmaceuticals and there's supplements. Right there, just really two major classes, but think of this more as a nutraceutical. Think of this as an activator, something that switches your body on. It flips the switch. It turns your body on to do what it was supposed to do naturally. So this is what was shared with me. So please know that we're being hijacked all day long, that we're exposed to toxins everywhere, in our food, in our water. I mean, let's face it, guys, our food supply is nowhere near what it used to be. There used to be so many processed foods and everything else. Let's talk about stress. I mean, you talk about stress. I don't know about you, but 2020 and 2021, have we all had a little bit of stress? Yes or yes? We've had a ton of stress. This year, I'm sure there's a lot of people who are smoking more, they're drinking more, they're overworked, and they may not be happy, and they may not have had any work, and they're stressed about the fact that they have no income coming in right now. I get it. I get it. So there's other toxins like the environmental pollutants that are getting us all day long, and other things like blue light, EMF, UV rays. So here's the thing. You may not know this, but there's 85,000 chemicals that have been introduced over the last 100 years. And that's like huge. That's 850 chemicals a year for the last 100 years. That's one of the main reasons why our bodies that used to be able to overcome this and produce just the right amount of enzymes and gene protective factors so that we could overcome this problem, but we can't anymore. Our bodies have become overpowered by these things, right? So what it's done is it's basically turn out the lights. It's turn them off. You can do your best. You can take antioxidants. So like I eat my fruits and vegetables, right? I eat healthy. I don't need those kind of things, right? I'm exercising regularly now. I don't need those things. Or I drink filtered water. I don't care what you're doing, but your body does need to be activated in order to turn the lights back on, right? So here are some of the things that you may be feeling right now. You may have problems with your immune system. Maybe you're getting sick all the time. Maybe you have this, like, why did I go into the room? Where are my keys? What was I going to say? I don't know if this defines you, but when I was getting into my late 40s and early 50s, guys, some of these things were showing up all the time, like it was 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Oh my, I don't know how to make it through the rest of the afternoon, right? Stress, okay? When you start adding in the responsibilities like families and the house and cars and jobs and all those things, and there's a whole bunch of people relying on you, I think you have a little bit more stress, right? Are you feeling me with this? How about your mood? The fatigue, right? Look at the lady in the picture, just like worn out. So what's happening is it's a cascade of problems that are happening. In the body, there are scientific definitions for why those things are happening. It's not just stress, it's oxidative stress, right? It's your body rusting from the inside out. It's mitochondrial decline, so you don't have the energy that used to be there. It's in decline. Sirtuin activity, it's basically like the gears are getting all gunked up. There's a ton of problems, and that's what's turning these lights off. So since we've already discovered that we have genes in our bodies that can keep us healthy, the next step was to figure out if you could leverage those genes. If you could, flip the switch. Would you? I mean, that's a rhetorical question. Guys, everybody on the face of the earth would do that if they could turn those genes back on. Why wouldn't you? If you could leverage those genes to help take care of some of these problems, so I'm getting to address the three of them. We'll go sort of quickly, but we want to talk about oxidative stress. What the heck is that anyways? I mean, really, oxidative stress, it's a word, right? Cellular aging, that's another word for it. It's like when the cells start to break down. See when that apple got a bite taken out of it, the skin, the protective barrier was removed? That was the damaging event. And then it started to oxidize or yellow or basically age right in front of you. That's what's happening to the cells in your body all day long. It's just a slow, insidious process. It's crazy. So there's like 250,000 clinical studies telling us how bad oxidative stress is for your body. So here's the deal. We've identified that the genetic pathway that prevents oxidative stress is called NRF2. And if you take 5 plant ingredients, combine them together in a specific ratio as protandem NRF2 synergizer, you can literally flip that switch back on again. What? What kind of big deal is that? Well, here's the thing. By flipping the switch, you've lowered a person's oxidative stress by 40% in just 30 days, and as much as 70% by 4 months. That's not just some made-up number. That's a peer-reviewed clinical study looking at blood. Like, you can't fake that. So go look and see what the experts had to say about it. So basically what you're doing is you're lowering that oxidative stress. You're lowering the cellular aging. You see there, that kind of reversal in cellular aging by 40%. Look at that apple again. To give you another visual, think about it like a huge fire in a big house. You can sit there and try to put it out with a small Dixie cup, but wouldn't you rather put it out with like a large fire hose or a sprinkler system that you activate? Well, when it needs to be turned on, that's what protandem NRF2 does for your body. In fact, Washington State University in 2015 said it's the most important health promoting approach in the foreseeable future. It may be the most extraordinary breakthrough in the history of health. The National Institute on Aging as well did studies, like you see. So, I mean, like, go see these studies for yourself so you can see exactly how it works, right? We're talking about this activation of the antioxidant production internally. It's just that your natural internal antioxidant production can't put the fire out anymore because this pathway is tired. Typically, your capability gets lower as we age, right? As we get older in life, this diminishes or slows down. That's what taking protandem NRF2, but activating your body by flipping that NRF2 switch and telling your body to produce more of these antioxidants and protective anti-inflammatory enzymes, you'll see that the antioxidant production is boosting back up. Like I told you, I mean, don't take my word on it. Go to this website. The website is simple, guys. It's pubmed.gov. You see, I think there's like 27 or 31 peer-reviewed studies on there from the likes of Harvard, Free Radical Biology, Colorado State, Virginia Commonwealth. Right there was a study there that was published in the Journal of Circulation. Every cardiologist in the United States reads Journal of Circulation. The fact that Protandim has a clinical study in that same prestigious journal, that blew me away. So you see all the different entities that have been studying it. Go to pubmed.gov and go do the research yourself. So now that we've identified that problem and came up with a solution, the next one was to look at how do we turn on the mitochondria. Remember, that was the second problem. It was that they also diminish over time, and that the third one was sirtuin activity also, like it diminishes. Right, don't worry about the big fancy words. Mitochondrial decline, basically mitochondria are our energy factories. It's like this battery losing its charge, right? Your cell phone starts to lose its charge. You know how it goes from like full and then gets down to like a half a bar left? That's what's going on in your bodies. You've heard about mitochondrial dysfunction and all these problems going on with the mitochondria, the powerhouses of our cells. They're the batteries, and it's where we get our energy or our cellular energy for everything. Breathing, talking, thinking, moving. Everything relies on the energy that's produced by our cells. Unfortunately, like it says over time, that mitochondrial production goes down. So we've identified that the NRF1 genetic pathway is the one responsible for mitochondria. Again, taking a blend of 5 plant ingredients or 5 natural ingredients in the Protandim NRF1 synergizer, we're now able to flip that switch to turn on our mitochondrial production by 70%. That's huge, guys. So not only are you producing more mitochondria, but larger and healthier mitochondria that can resist destruction as well. What does that mean in English? More energy, right? If you increase the cellular production, you're going to increase the energy level of your cells. You're not going to feel like you're sluggish or dragging or fatigued all the time, like the lady was in that picture where she's like holding her head and she's going, oh my gosh, it's only 3 o'clock and I'm ready to pass out in the middle of the afternoon. Okay, so the third problem that I mentioned is sirtuin decline. Sirtuin is a big fancy name, but basically what sirtuins are proteins responsible for cleanup. They're like the garbage men. They dig out the cell, they help keep things moving, they lubricate the cells and keep them moving and get rid of all the waste products and everything else, right? But over time, the sirtuin activity not only decreases, but the production of them also decreases. And so now you have all the waste or the gunk building up right in the gears where they're slowed down. Now the NAD genetic pathway is what's responsible for building up sirtuins. In this case, it's 4 ingredients, 4 natural ingredients blended together in the Protandim NAD synergizer that are flipping that switch again. You notice the common theme? It's all about flipping the switch. You activate the pathway and the body produces more sirtuins by 100% in 24 hours. In English, what that means, guys, is you've got 2 choices. You can starve yourself with caloric restriction like a 600 calorie a day diet. No, that's not happening for me. 600 calories a day and you increase NAD activity maybe like 94% in 72 hours. But with activation, you can double it within 24 hours by taking the Protandim NAD synergizer and making more NAD and sirtuins. Okay, so we've talked about 3 different genetic signaling pathways. What does that do? It increases that sirtuin activity. All of a sudden the cell gets degunked and it starts moving again like it was supposed to. All the things that all the cellular processes start to do are happening again. So now we've eliminated oxidative stress, boosted mitochondrial production to boost our cellular energy, and we've lowered this gunk buildup of the cells by increasing sirtuin activity, right? So what do you think would happen if you could flip all 3 of these switches? Well, when you flip all 3, here's a summary of what happens. Less oxidative stress, less of that basically body eating itself up, right? That's cellular aging. Improvement in the cellular energy, and then improvement in the processes of degunkification. I made up that word, by the way. It's making that the cell actually do what it's supposed to do when you put all three together. It also does something really interesting. When I saw this study in 2019, guys, you may not be a science person, and maybe some of the stuff I've talked about is way over your head, but there are some scientists out there that when they saw this, like when I saw it, it blew my mind. Because not only is each product the best in its class, there's nothing else that activates NRF2 pathways or NRF1 pathways like protandem. This is a first of its kind. There's nothing else that activates the NAD sirtuin pathway like protandem NAD synergizer. But when you put the three of them together, look at these results. The results are exponentially better. I mean, look at that. Anywhere from where it is like 71% on the low end up to almost 1,800% more activation with them all working together. Bottom line is that the three of them are better than any one of them alone. It's not a sum, it's actually like a multiplication. They each make the other amplify so much better. Are you ready to flip that switch? What are some of the benefits? And I was kind of talking about those as we were going along, but positive mood and motivation. Who doesn't want to be more motivated, especially in the world we're living in? There's so many things coming at us right now. We want to live, not just, longer, but healthier, healthy longevity. We want to improve our health span, have better focus and clarity and concentration, more mental energy. It also helps mediate our immune system and supports a healthier vascular system, right? So those are the things that everybody's looking for, particularly in this crazy world we're living in right now. So if you're ready to flip the switch, let's do it. It's simple as the Protandem Tri-Synergizer. Guys, free shipping, okay? I mean, we listened as a company, like who doesn't offer free shipping nowadays, right? So we said we're going to offer free shipping, a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. If you don't like it, send it back, right? LifeVantage will give you your money back. It comes out to less than $5 a day. That's less than a cup of store-bought fancy schmancy coffee every day. I mean, really, it's less than $5 a day. So guys, I mean, it's your health. Do it. Activate your body. Get it turned back on. I didn't even go into all the other products that LifeVantage has. There's just too many. Look at that. Axio brain food drink. Think like focus, clarity, mental concentration. What about getting your gut in check with the probiotic ProBio or the prebiotics and feeding the healthy bacteria? What about Omega Plus for your heart and your brain? What about losing weight and not just losing it but maintaining a healthy weight? Look at skin too, right? I'm really like 85. I know I look a little like I'm 20, right? No, seriously, I'm kidding. I'm actually older than 60, but I use the skincare system every day, guys. I use the hair system to shampoo with, and I use the pet tandem on all my four-legged pets. We took the same technology that activation or flipping the switches did for us as humans and put it into all these different areas, right? I encourage you to get back with whoever shared this webinar link with you and challenge them to share and show you more about each and every one of these. You'll be blown away when you take a look at them. So here's the thing. All these stories are fantastic, right? I can't tell you about how I was sleeping better within a couple weeks. I was waking up before my alarm clock was going off within the first 4 weeks of starting our products, and how within 6 weeks I was recovering like a 20-year-old in my workouts. I was losing unnecessary weight, thinking more clearly, acting less anxious, and emotionally, I was in a much better place. My wife, my family, even my pets were improving on these. I could tell you all these stories, but they're only good if I share them with you. The same thing goes with our other products. These stories are only good, or they're better, I should say, if and when you share them with others. So I want to share with you the LifeVantage story too. LifeVantage is now about 11 years old. We're based out of Salt Lake City, Utah, right? Publicly traded on the NASDAQ. Publicly traded, guys. You should see their financials because the financials were great, yet they're phenomenal now, right? We're debt-free. What other company is? Our company posted record sales in 2020, and after 2020, financials were just released, okay? So here's the thing. Who'd like to earn a little extra income while getting healthy? Now look at the governance. I mean, Look at who's on our board of directors, right? From some of the most massive companies you've ever seen, we're on the right track here. NASDAQ, right along Google, Apple, all the other huge companies that are there. Never before in the history are there people being more concerned with their health right now. I mean, global health crisis, and people are concerned. Wellness has skyrocketed. Look at these stats. They were up through 2018. These don't even include the 2019 or the 2020 guys. Wellness is on the rise. It's what everybody is talking about. The markets are massive. That's why when you're thinking about it and you're hearing about it, you're like, okay, now I know. Who else knows about this? You can be the ones sharing this with others that haven't even heard about it yet. I'm talking about Protandem. When I heard that part, when I saw how big these markets were, who doesn't want to be a part of this? We were a $3 million company, and now we're a $250 million a year company. Who doesn't want to grab $1 billion or $2 billion away from some of these markets? And I don't doubt you, but I'm in. I want to. Look at this. Cosmetics all the way up through 2017. Cosmetics were the #1 market in the network marketing profession. Up. Look what happened to the following year. They flip-flopped. People aren't as concerned about their looks as they once were. They want to be healthier from the inside out, all the way around. Not just better looking skin, but healthier, younger looking skin and hair, and their bodies healthier. So this business model is literally the perfect business model when you think about it. You can work from home or anywhere. You can get cell service or you have a virtual office and you don't even need a connection. I didn't tell you guys before, but I've been an employee, I've been a soldier following orders, I've been an employer, and I've been a network marketer or an entrepreneur. And let me tell you, being a network marketer is the best out of all four. Why? Well, you can work from wherever you want. With a virtual office, this is your office. There's no inventory. You don't buy a warehouse. There's no samples and products everywhere. You can just buy what you want to use for personal consumption. A low cost of entry. It's social sharing, right? I mean, you use Facebook, Google, Pinterest, Instagram, all the different ones, like LinkedIn. You can share this socially. When we can share it out in public, when we're allowed to and get out and start mingling again, you have your own personal online store. You get paid daily, guys, daily bonuses. That's pretty cool. That's something you're going to want to ask the person who shared this with you more about. And travel, I mean, this company has taken us all over the world, right? When you earn incentives, not only are you traveling to go build your business like our business, but you can also earn incentive trips. I've earned incentive trips to Ireland. I've earned them to Puerto Vallarta, Cancun, Mexico, and others. It's pretty cool. So let's talk a little bit about what the potential is, right? All of this is great, but you want to know what's in it for me. So what's in it for you is simple, guys. This is not hypothetical earnings. This is actual earnings that distributors have earned, and these are the ones from, I think, 2019. This is last year's or the year before's earnings. Yes, last year's earnings disclosure, so these are actual earnings. So let's look at the foundational rank of Pro 3. So I'm highlighting that one, right? We're not talking yet about getting to the top rank of the company. You just get to Pro 3 rank, which is sort of in the middle. That means your business is doing the average commission at that rank is like $626 a month. I don't know about you, but when I saw that and once we achieved that rate, I started thinking about wow, okay, that could pay a cell phone bill, that could pay a car payment. Start thinking of it in terms of that this is the average monthly income coming in. Of course, if you're like me, you start looking at what's the maximum, look at the fourth column, right, or fifth column technically, but look at that column next. I looked at Pro 5, the middle rank of the company, right? You're looking halfway through the ranks of this company at this point, and the company is looking at you more like a leader, $3,000 a month. 3,000 times 12 is 36,000 or almost 37,000 a year. Because I think the median or the mean income of the U.S. Is somewhere like 40,000. That's replacing jobs at this point. That's not just replacing part-time jobs in some cases. That's replacing full-time jobs, full-time income. That's huge. When you think about it, and most premier Pro 5s that I know have built their business on a part-time basis, not no time. I'm not saying it's zero time. It's network marketing, but they've done it on a part-time basis. You can do this business during your spare hours of your workday. In the evening, a few hours a week. I made it all the way to Pro 6, but I want to get to the Pro 7, Pro 8 ranks before I can professionally retire from my dealing ground of call. Elite Pro 7 ranks means global revenue sharing. That means 13 grand a month. Can you imagine? What else could I do that would generate that kind of income? And it's leveraging, it's you and a team of people. It doesn't rely 100% on your efforts. It's you and the efforts of many other people that are contributing to this. And along the way, you're helping so many other people achieve all these ranks in the process. Guys, I've never found anything better than this. And I've done it all. I've been an employee, I've been an employer, and I've been a network marketer. And I'm telling you, this is the best, especially when you look at how easy it is to get started. It's simple. You pick which pack you want to get started on. My recommendation, of course, is the one that's highlighted all the way to the right, the Platinum pack. Why? Because you get to try every single product in the company. You get to share those products. You have some left over that you can share with others, or you can get a ticket, an all-access ticket to the next event. We have these events multiple times per year. Our events are occurring almost monthly with one big event a year in October. And you get a ticket to that, actually 2 tickets to go to that for free. There are other packets at different entry points, but they all make you a distributor and qualify you. Just depends on how fast you want to get to your target. So now's the time to do it. Now's the time to get started in business. Do it today. Get enrolled. Reach back out to the person that shared this with you to get started. Wherever you fit in, whichever of these packs fits you and your budget and your mindset and how big of a business you want it to grow. Do it, and let's get you a ticket to that event so you're in and you can get trained, because that's the next question that people ask. This all sounds great, but I don't know if I can do it. Of course you can. I've watched people walk across the stage before. I've gone to these conventions. If they can do it, I can do it. I don't know, that sounds bad, but I mean that with all love and respect. You see, it doesn't matter. The compensation plan is blind, guys. It doesn't matter if you're male, female, if you're married, divorced, gay, straight. It doesn't matter what your race, your color, your ethnicity. None of that matters. The compensation plan is blind. It's got blinders on. It pays for effort. It pays for the person that goes and gets the support and the training and follows the system, the simple system, the one that regularly attends some of the meetings. I'm not talking like you've got to spend all week. I'm told you guys, I did this part-time. I was putting in 5-8 hours a week at most. Maybe some weeks it was less than that, especially in the beginning. Now I put in more time, but that's much later. But in the beginning, it was part-time effort. There's all kinds of training, all kinds of incentives, perks, private communities. You have all the support that you need. So here's where it comes down to it. Right now, guys, look at just some of the things that have happened in the last couple of years. In the last year, one of the best places to work, launched in Ireland, named Aaron Brockovich to our board. Are you kidding me? It just doesn't get any better than that. Stevie Award winners for our product, added to the Russell 3000. As far as on the financial side, open for business in New Zealand, post record profits, ring the closing bell at NASDAQ. Let me see if I can find that one. Here it is. Yeah, we were right there. That's our corporate team right there. That was on Madison Square all day long. Sponsor of the Real Salt Lake City football soccer team. The Jersey Front sponsor for a 10-year partnership. Look at us opening a bunch of markets worldwide. And this is cool, guys. We give back. Everywhere we go, we give back. This is our families helping families. This is our legacy program right here, building homes for those that don't have them in Mexico and Puerto Penasco, Mexico. So you've just got to ask yourself, this all sounds awesome. You're probably in one of 3 categories. One, you need more information, right? Initially, before I saw one of these interviews or overviews, that was me. I needed more information. Once I saw the overview and I got to the chat with somebody a little bit and learned a little bit more, I was like, man, you're either going to do that or you're going to want to be a customer, right? I mean, these products sound amazing. Let me get them in my body right now. Get back with the person that shared this with you. They'll help you get started and start developing your own story on these products. I know, I hear all the time, well, I just want to see what it does for me. I get it. I understand. Your story is powerful. It's important. So let's get you going today. Why wait another day? I just told you there's nothing else like this in the world. The most important thing a human can do is to take, or a pet for that matter, is to take it, the pet tandem for a pet, the pro tandem for a human. Look at number 3. Join the team. I told you that you could get started and have an ID number literally within 5 minutes. Our company does an opportunity webinar every single Tuesday evening at 9 p.m. And if you can see the vision here, the opportunity to flip your switches and help those that you love while at the same time making a business out of it in your off time while you grow and are trained, then get back with either me or the person who sent you here and we'll help you. We'll get you set up for, to be one of the most life-changing experiences that you could possibly have. All right, I leave you now, but thank you so much for listening, and I hope you'll join us soon.